Oh,
Hello?
hey. When'd you get here?
I was always here, actually. You know, it's kind of my shtick. I'm the camera guy, after all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. You know, it's been 3 weeks now.
I guess.
And I think in all that 3 weeks, I never got what the title of this game was.
Oh, it's Persona 5.
Persona 5, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, weren't you supposed to do a Grim Fandango review?
Oh my god, I was supposed to do a Grim Fandango video. Oh my god, I haven't even played that. I've been playing this whole time. Oh god.
Yes, you have.
Okay,
I don't blame you. I love to play too, but, you know, my hands are literally fused to this camera.
yeah. Alright, Okay, change of plans. We're doing this. Alright, I got an idea. I'm gonna get showered up.
You do that.
Deal with everything here. Just roll the intro. I'll be done by then, alright?
Okay, I'll find the button somewhere. I gotta push it to start the intro. I think I'm sitting on it.
Alright.
There it is.
I remember back in 2011 when I was first introduced to the Persona franchise. I was watching Moscow X's series Anaphile, looking for more shows to get into, where I ran into a series about high school kids jumping into TVs and fighting shadow monsters. I thought it looked like a fun series, so I found it on Hulu and instantly got hooked. So naturally, I asked for the game for Christmas and even picked up the third game not long after. So, after waiting months for this, at the time, obscure PS2 game that almost no one knew about, I get the game, I put it in my PS2, and I fall in love with what I consider my favorite game of all time. At least until I get utterly trounced by Yukiko's castle and rage quit it to 3 for a while. So after 6 years of discovering the series and God knows how many spin-offs of Persona 4, we finally got our hands on the latest installment, Persona 5. It's honestly refreshing to actually play one of these games as soon as they come out, as opposed to just stumbling onto them years after the fact. The Persona series has brought up a lot of interesting themes and topics throughout the years. For starters, Persona 3 dealing with the inevitability of death and how to cope with it, and in Persona 4 where you deal with the darker side of your personality. So after watching trailer after trailer of Persona 5, I've been very excited to see just how the game deals with the idea of rebellion, as well as dealing with a system that's generally classified as unjust. So, without any more delay, Lord knows we've had plenty of that, let's get right into Atlus's newest game, Persona 5. Wait, why isn't the footage... Okay, Plan B. Plan B. I figured that something like this would happen in the future. So, I went ahead and borrowed this little beauty. Thanks, Wong. All I gotta do is just go back and replay what I've already done and go on from there. It's not like I played that much of the game, right? Well, I really played that much, did I? Okay, minor setback. Maybe I can just record everything onward and just use that footage. I mean, there shouldn't be any problems using...
You what?!
So, yeah, as you probably have heard, Atlus has been pretty strict with the idea of recording footage for Persona 5. With that, it's kind of hard to really do an in-depth analysis on the game right now without putting my channel in jeopardy. It makes it even worse that most of the stuff I really want to get into falls after the 7.7 point. So not being able to talk about it, let alone show footage of it, really puts me in a disadvantage. Plus, I feel it would be best if I actually finish the game first before doing an in-depth analysis on it. Wait, I'm only halfway done? So I've decided to do something different this time around. Nothing really academic like before, mind you, but something a bit simpler. Something a bit sillier. Something that finally lets me gush about just how much I love this goddamn game. No more waiting, let's go. The 5 things I love about Persona 5.
Number 1. The music.
Okay, listen. If you want to play this game, then I got one question for you.
You like jazz?
I sure hope so, because this game is full of it. From Persona 3 and onward, each game has had a unique feel and genre to their soundtracks, with 3 focusing more on a R&B hip-hop style, and 4 with a more J-pop feel. This time around, it's acid jazz straight from the get-go, hitting you with that chill bass line and bombastic horn section, setting you up for what can only be described as a unique experience demanding your attention.
Wake up there. Raise your voice, I guess, like yours.
And that's just with the opening. The game also uses songs like Beneath the Mask as a perfect theme for exploring the many prefectures of Tokyo at night, be it the bustling traffic of Shibuya or the seedy underside of Shinjuku, creating a perfect sense of calm in between the many heists that you and your team take part in during the game.
Where have you been? Been searching all along, confessing twilight on and on, without the...
However, all of that has nothing compared to what I consider one of my favorite tracks in the entire game, that being the main battle theme, Last Surprise. Now I could just sit here and talk about how the song's great, spouting off fancy terms like I know how to talk about music, or I could just show you what I mean. Kick it!
You never see it coming. You see that my mind is the best for eyes. You're done there. By the time it hits you, you're not surprised.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's plenty more with the dungeon themes, the boss music, and everything else after that. You want to listen to more? Then pick up the game, buddy. Or just keep watching the video. There'll be more featured, I guess. But fancy tunes aren't all this game has to offer. Number 2, the look. I'm just gonna lay it out there. This game is probably the best looking thing I've seen in a good long while. Every frame of this game just looks beautiful, from the battle UI to the menus. Simply put, this game just oozes style everywhere. Never have I ever been so hyped about upping a stat in a game before this one. Another thing that I want to bring up is the animation used in Persona 5 as well. In the past few games, most of the character animations were pretty limited, only relying on face portraits to portray emotion, and a few gestures to help give emphasis. However, a little game called Catherine came around and let Atlus play around with what the PS3 can do in terms of engine animation. This in turn really helps the quality of Persona 5 by allowing the characters to visually emote during the dialogue, giving the game an extra shot of flair to it that you may not notice right away, but still appreciate all at the same time. Simply put, the guy's got more than one face and the menus look pretty. But that all doesn't mean a thing without... Number 3, the gameplay. So the Persona franchise has typically followed the markings of JRPG games, save for a few spin-off titles of course. So it comes to no surprise that Persona 5 follows suit. However, what the game does to the typical JRPG formula helps create a more engaging experience for the player, especially in terms of combat. In past games, each move or action was chosen through scrolling through a small menu and choosing what you want to do. Easy enough. But in Persona 5, all you need to do is press a single button to initiate a specific action. What does that mean? Well, say you want to summon your persona. So typically you would go into the battle and scroll down to the option that says persona, and if you want to change a current persona, then you have to scroll down one more until you land to an option to do so. No fuss, no muss. However, in Persona 5, all you need to do is to press the triangle button, maybe the R1 and L1 button to switch out your persona. It's a small change that not a lot of people are going to notice at first, but like with the menus, it's a small change that subconsciously sticks with your mind that makes you appreciate the game more and more.
But wait! There's more!
What's also different about 5 as opposed to 3 and 4 is the return of negotiations. This is what the mainline Shin Megami Tensei series is best known for, and to see it return to the Persona series is refreshing to say the least. Also returning are nuke and psi abilities, which is a cool addition in and of itself, and the return of guns. Lots and lots of guns. You got your handguns, shotguns, chain guns, rifles, revolvers, rocket launchers, even slingshots for the kiddies. Though, to be honest, all it is just another type of attack to try out when searching for weaknesses. But the inclusion is still appreciated immensely. Number 4. The characters. What really drew me in about Persona 4 were the different characters that you interact with during your time playing. Nearly everyone you talked with had a unique personality and desire that you could sympathize about, and you often rooted for them to grow stronger throughout the game, be it through the main plot, or even through their social links. And what pleases me most about Persona 5 is how great these characters are. Every one of your fellow Phantom Thieves has their own past experiences with betrayal, abuse, deception, and other forms of jackassery. I won't get into the specifics with them because I really want you to experience this firsthand. Also, I don't want Atlus to come after me, so I'm just covering my ass this time around. All you need to know going in is that these two really hate this guy. You'll hate him too. I guarantee it. Outside of the Phantom Thieves, the game is filled to the brim with interesting characters that you get the pleasure of talking to, and even get to befriend a lot of them, which in turn leads to a lot of buffs and perks later on. You also run into some guys you just want to punch in the face, kinda like Hot Pants over there. And you'll also run into characters you'll have no idea how to feel about, like this guy, Goro Akechi. I can't tell you much about this guy for spoiler reasons, but all you need to know is that he's a kid detective. And he also likes pancakes.
I missed lunch today, so I'm quite hungry myself.
And hey, what can I say? Kid's got some good tastes.
All in all, Persona 5 exceeds with its character development and writing, creating a plethora of memorable cohorts to interact with from start to finish. And finally, the themes. Now, the Persona franchise has never been against using dark themes and situations for their games. Persona 4 is effectively a murder mystery that deals with the repressed feelings that people hide from the rest of the world. Persona 3 is effectively about the concept of death and how to deal with it. Hell, you activate your persona by literally shooting yourself in the head in that game. And while the stakes in Persona 5 may not be as dire as the past games, the overall tone of the game is probably the darkest that the series has gotten. Again, I won't get into the specifics, but early on, it's apparent that this game isn't kidding around, easily proving this from the first minute where you learn that you were betrayed by one of your comrades, as well as learn the true meaning of police brutality. After that, the game makes itself clear that the world you'll be exploring is not a fair one, but that you have the ability to change that for the better. It constantly shows you the ugly side of humanity, but not long after proves that it doesn't have to be like this, that you and your friends can inspire others to fight for what they believe in, and that there truly is justice in this world. Granted, the ways you go around doing this is morally questionable at best, but the game doesn't mind holding somewhat of a discussion about it at least.
If you haven't bought in Persona 5, do it. Just go out and buy it. Like with Night in the Woods, I highly recommend it. Go buy it for PS4 or PS3, whichever you have access to right now. I hope I at least given some of you a reason to pick it up with this video. And if I have, let me know in the comments below. If you're already playing it, talk about what you like about the game. With all that being said, next time, I've got some unfinished business to deal with. Next episode, Grim Fandango. No tricks, no lying, no excuses. After a short hiatus. You see, I first started this series as an independent study for college, basically getting credits for making a YouTube series. In turn, a lot of the equipment that I've been using has been rented out from the university, so the fact that I'm graduating in less than a month means that I'm not going to have a lot of the stuff that I've been using. However, that doesn't mean that I'll be quitting the series anytime soon. I don't know for sure how long I'm going to have to wait, but when I'm ready, I'll be continuing this series. So, with all that being said, see you next time.